Now the #1 player not in the Hall of Fame, Jerry Kramer.
Jerry Kramer didn't know how good he was when he first joined the Green Bay Packers. You'd be surprised how much confidence a little success will bring.
I think of all the players that are not in the Hall of Fame,
Coach?
the one that mystifies me the most is Jerry Kramer. I don't know how he isn't in the Hall of Fame.
Jerry Kramer probably is accounting for about a fourth of my mail on a daily basis.
When you think of the Packers of the 60s, what do you remember? You remember Lombardi at the blackboard, a seal here.
What we're trying to get is a seal here.
And a seal here.
And a seal here. And try to run this play
in the alley.
In the alley.
Getting the seal was the guards. And Jerry Kramer was the best at that particular skill. It was his agility and his speed to get out there and make that block that really made that Packer sweep effective.
With our #1 player paving the way, Green Bay rolled to 5 NFL championships in the 60s, including the first 2 Super Bowls.
The Green Bay Packers, once again, are the world champions.
He certainly played on a lot of great teams, and that's what people look at. He was a big part of the reason we lost in '67.
17-14, Cowboys out in front. Packers trying for the go-ahead score.
It is the most celebrated block in pro football history.
Starr begins the count. Takes the snap.
It defines Kramer, but it also defines Lombardi's philosophy of football.
And the Green Bay Packers are going to be world champions.
Watch that number 64. That's Jerry Kramer, the best right guard in football doing his job.
They try to say Jerry was a one-play wonder, that block in the Ice Bowl was the only thing Jerry Kramer did, and that's not fair to Jerry. He's not looking at his career.
See how he opens up a hole with that block? It's pride that did that.
Jerry Kramer was a complete guard. In fact, Jerry Kramer should really have been the all-star of the 1962 championship game when he kicked the winning field goal against the Giants.
Jerry Kramer kicks, and the ball finds it. It's all over.
You know, unfortunately, guards don't get an even break in this business. They're overlooked.
I vote in the Baseball Hall of Fame, too, and it's easy. You get every stat you want. Football, we're still trying to figure out a stat for a right guard.
While the low number of guards in Canton hurts Kramer, so does the high number of Lombardi-era Packers already in the Hall.
Davis, Harding, Adderley.
11, counting St. Vince himself.
I think he's in that position, kind of like Bob Kuchenberg of the Miami Dolphins, where there's so many other players on his team that are already in the Hall of Fame that it gets in and says, well, how many Hall of Famers could this team have?
That makes no sense, because if a guy belongs, he belongs. And in the 60s, there were fewer teams and there were fewer players. Great teams could have many, many more Hall of Famers than teams today.
Was part of one of the great blocks in the history of football. Lombardi thought he was one of the greatest guards in the league, which is good enough for me.
When they picked the 50-year anniversary team of the entire league, Jerry Kramer was the guard. Every guy on that 50th anniversary team is in the Hall of Fame, except Jerry Kramer. I don't understand it.